Now we are going to paint figures using our two brushes. So these are the 4 figures that I want to paint. So a fisherman, an old man with a walking stick, a lady with a handbag, and a cyclist. So let's begin. So the first one is the fisherman, and I'm going to give him a red hat. So about here. That will do. And then I need a dark colour here. Like that. It's all really just simple shapes, but I'm going to make this even darker. Yeah, maybe a tiny bit wider. And whoops, I need to get some paint that's a bit redder, and this needs to be a little bit wider. I made it a bit too high, that part. Okay, now we're going to continue. So I'm going to do his body next, and I'm going to give him a blue shirt. So that's basically his head there, and then we've got shoulders here. I want to curve them a little bit. And he's got one arm coming out like this. So I'm using not the flat this time, but like the full length of the brush and the tip to do this arm. And then another arm here, which is coming down almost straight down because it's holding a bucket like that. Okay, and now I need some red. Here we go with the red paint. So here we've got some skim. Whoops, and I went too far down here with the blue. But I can wipe this out. I need to just spray it. And then just to do the hands. So that's one hand, and then here's another hand. Okay, that will do. And then a darker colour next. And I'm basically just going to do like a carrot shape. Just comes down like that. Maybe make it a little bit longer, and I'll dry my brush and try and get a little bit of a dry brush effect, because that will give a feeling of motion. And then He's wearing dungarees, I think that's what you call them, or a boiler suit. And so I'm just going to paint that. So it has to be fairly thick mix, otherwise it will just disappear. Okay, there we go. And a shadow. So I don't want the shadow too strong, and I want a little bit of red in it. And let's imagine the light's coming this way. Oh. And here we go. I don't want it to be too big either. So maybe the sun's coming down a bit more like this. And then suggest this hat like that. Oh, and he's got a bag here. Maybe something like that. And what else? Okay, so he's got a fishing rod. So I'm going to switch now to my liner. This is quite a thick mix. Whoops. And this fishing rod, it starts out thick and then gets thinner. And then here just suggest some creases in his shirt. And then here we've got a bag. So maybe I want his bag to be a bit lighter than this. Okay, that will do. Okay, and then dark here at the bottom. Like that. And let's do his face. So I wash my brush out and then I just wet here. And oops, and then get the tissue, and yeah, that's pretty drastic, but that's what it needed. Wow. And also maybe I need to lighten these a bit, so use a bit of tissue too. So I'm just wetting my brush, drying it, and then I can wet here and wipe it up. It takes a bit of time to get a feel for the mix, strength of the mixers, what you can do and what you can't do, but with practice you'll start to get a feel for it bit by bit. And if you do it too wet, you can always wipe it up quickly. There, something like that. I think I might get rid of the excess water there, and Maybe I should have strengthened that a bit, but it's okay. It's not so bad. And I think I got the skin colour working quite well. Maybe this is too wide, but in fact this is way too wide. What I could do is get rid of some of it later on, but it's good enough.